So the last time I used the Sony Xperia Z, this phone was pretty fun to play with. It's got like a cool PlayStation UI going on with it, but the main issue is it's stuck on Android 5 and just not much works on it anymore. But thanks to the open nature of Android, we can try to put a custom ROM on this thing and update it to Android 10, 11, or maybe even higher, who knows. So let's get started. Oh no, it's not booting. Wait, does this mean I get to buy a new laptop? Oh no, it's turning on. Alright, fine, I guess I'll use this. Ooh, sounds like Windows Airlines is about to take off. Okay, so first things first, we're probably going to want to look up a guide for this because it's not really the best idea to go into doing a custom ROM blind because who knows what these Android manufacturers do to their phones. I guess LineageOS has the best documentation. The Xperia Z is no longer maintained with LineageOS. Oh, that's a shame. It looks like it was last updated for 15.1. And 15.1 is Android 8, which would be a huge jump coming from Android 5, but maybe we can go a bit higher. Let's look at the ROMs a bit later. We gotta unlock the bootloader on this thing first. Okay, so for the basic requirements, we need ADB and fast boot, which I already have installed on this computer, and then we get to enable USB debugging on the Android device itself. Alright, so we check that, and you know, usually when I unlock the bootloader, there's like an OEM unlock option here, but it's not there, so I hope that's not a bad sign. Okay, so we got step 1 situated. What's next? On the device, dial... Whoa, haven't done that before. Is this really necessary? And then service info, configuration, and check rooting status. Oh, and we can only continue if it says bootloader unlock allowed? Oh no. Please, I'm begging you, don't ruin my entire video. Oh, let's go, we can unlock the bootloader. And after that, we gotta copy down the IMEI number to get an unlock code from Sony. Really? Okay, I guess they're pulling a Motorola. First, it wants us to connect the device to the PC, though. Oh, you know what, that's right, it's the Jigsaw phone. Intuitive. Thank you. After that, we just gotta open up ADB and shove the thing into the bootloader. CD documents, CD Heisenberg, and now ADB-D reboot bootloader. So the screen's completely blank, but Windows seems to recognize it, so I think we're on the right path. Then it asks me to verify that the thing is actually in fastboot mode, and I ran the commands, and I'm not finding anything. Uh-oh. Maybe just unplug it and plug it back in? Oh, cool, that just reboots it. Alright, let's just do a button key combo to get into fastboot. With the device powered off, hold volume up and connect the USB cable. Alright. The notification light should turn blue, which it is. So, you gonna find the device now? No, okay, still being stubborn. Well, looks like it's time to consult Google. Probably need the Sony drivers for Xperia Z devices. Ooh, okay, that would probably do it. Oh, neat, it's not a dead link. Thank you, Sony. Is there any installer inside of here, or is it just... Yeah, it's the files itself, okay. Guess we'll just head into Device Manager and do it there. I should probably switch to Linux, actually. There's the misbehaving device, so update driver, browse computer for drivers. Now let's select the file pack we just downloaded. Windows could not find drivers for your device. Now, while some masochists may want to play driver roulette with Windows here, I'm really just kind of fed up with this operating system, so let's pull out an actually good laptop on Linux. Alright, let's pick up where we left off. Oh, now it works. And now we gotta head to Sony's official website to get an unlock code to actually use our phone how we want to. What a waste of time. Note, new devices do not support bootloader unlock. Oh, okay, way to ruin your devices, Xperia. At least the old ones still work. We are looking for Xperia Z. And then we just paste our IMEI right here. I acknowledge that I may void the warranty of my device. Oh no, not my 2013 phone. And now we got the unlock code, so let's paste this into ADB. Fast boot OEM unlock, and then we paste this. Incorrect format for unlock data. What? This is the code you gave me. What am I supposed to do? I guess generate new one? Yeah, it's a similar code as well. So what am I supposed to do here? Ooh, I see. So we're supposed to put 0x before the unlock code. Now it works. And now that we have everything unlocked, we can pretty much just install whatever ROM we want. So let's hit up XDA and see what we can grab. Xperia Z original Android development. Let's take a look in there. So we got Android 12 stable, Android 13 in beta, and Android 14 in alpha. This will be fun to flash, actually. I want to do this first. And first, we're going to need a recovery environment to install the ROM, so let's download TWRP. Wait, so which one do I get? I guess just the official ones, right? Last updated 2022. Yeah, this will work, no problem. And now to install it, we do fastboot, flash, recovery, and then we just slap the TWRP file inside of here. Command failed, what? Maybe the issue is the file path and we should just CD into downloads. Fast boot flash recovery. Same error again. So I did some more research off camera, and turns out the Xperia devices actually don't have any recovery partitions, so we're just gonna have to flash the thing to boot, even though that might not be the best idea. Fast boot flash boot, and then we'll flash this file. Okay, that worked. Now let's unplug the device and take a look at what we can do inside of TWRP. And hey, it's not a black screen for once. Now that we got TWRP working, we can install the Android 14 ROM. Now we're gonna mount the Android phone's file system onto the Linux computer and just copy the ROM over. Internal storage, TWRP, and I mean, that's empty, but who cares? We can just paste it there anyways. This is too slow for me, USB 2.0. Come on, where's the dopamine hit? And now that it's finished, let's attempt to install the custom ROM. No promises. Ooh, there it is. Okay, so this one, flash. This operation may install incompatible software and render your device unusable. I mean, better than Android 5, huh? It seems to be working, but is it flashing this to the boot partition? So we're gonna lose TWRP, right? And looks like the flashing is finished successfully. Are we actually gonna have Android 14 on this phone? No way. No way. I see the LED. Oh, there we go. Android 14 on a phone from 2013. And after waiting 30 minutes for everything to initialize, we can now set the phone up. English XC. What language is XC? This version is in alpha, but looks like it can connect to the internet just fine. Update lineage recovery. Yeah, that's not gonna happen on this phone. Choose preferred navigation method, and yeah, with Android 14 we can use gesture nav. We're gonna get more screen real estate, and it's just gonna be more comfortable to use. Well, that's it for setup. Let's take a look at how slow this device is. Any second now. There you go. Oh, okay, so yeah, it's definitely not the fastest. But even though that is kind of laggy, it's still really impressive to see this being actually usable on Android 14. We can't toggle the flashlight though. Camera in use. What do you mean camera in use? Is something up with the camera? Oh, okay. No cameras were found on the device. Alright, so something's broken here. Also, I'm not really doing anything on the phone, and the back is already starting to heat up. So the main reason you would install a custom ROM is definitely for app support. So let's try out some modern apps on this thing that couldn't run on Android 5. Most notably, the PlayStation app. We're gonna need an app store on this thing, so let's install Aurora Store. Honestly, the web browser is a major improvement from stock. You kind of notice how everything's just taking an extra second to work. And the PlayStation app is actually still supported on 32-bit. I really hope this works. Let's also try out a light game. And you couldn't even remote into a PS5 on the stock firmware, let alone log into the app, so it'd be pretty cool if we could log into a PS5 from this old phone. Alright, now let's see if the PlayStation app works. Damn, is that slow. You gonna let me log in? It's been 40 seconds. What could you possibly be doing? The loading bar went away. Can we log in now? Oh, okay. All right. It's just fantastic. So while the PlayStation app is supported on Android 14 on this phone, the phone itself is just too slow to run it. Now we're going to take a look at a light mobile game. It's been 30 seconds and the Supercell logo hasn't even popped up. Is the game going to even launch? You can't trick me, phone. I know your screen is on. Come on, just work. All right, you know what? I can see it. Oh, wow. It's actually working now. Are we going to actually be able to play the game, though? Oh, man. After waiting for the game to boot and downloading all the maintenance patches, can we finally play the game? It's taken longer than an actual Clash Royale match to get into it. Oh, there we go. Okay, so we can actually play this game. So, I think I found it. The official worst way to play Clash Royale. The game stutters every other second. In Clash Royale. I know we could get better performance out of this if we used a lower Android version, but on Android 14, this is just not smooth. Oh, and cool, the frame rate just dropped. I've never seen the frame rate drop in Clash Royale before. I don't want to keep playing this. Oh, okay, it just crashed, thank you. What about PS Remote Play? Can we even log into this? Oh, you know what, cool, it won't even let us try. Something went wrong and kicks you out of the app. I know this phone doesn't want to run anything, but at the very least, can you run TikTok Lite? It even stutters opening the app. Oh, hey, wow, it's actually working. And TikTok Lite is, it's not the best, but if you wait a sec for the video to load, it's usable. So that's Android 14 on the Xperia Z. Now, it is not a good experience at all, let me just tell you. Everything on the system takes an extra second to load, the apps stutter, some won't even work like Remote Play. But then again, it is Android 14 running on a device only made to run up to Android 5, so it's still pretty cool regardless. If you actually wanted to daily drive this thing though, I would just say put Android 11 on it. 14 is way too high for this phone. Anyways, thanks for watching it. Let me know down in the comments, what other custom ROMs do you want me to put on this phone, or actually what other phones do you want me to do a custom ROM on? Alright, I'll see you later.